Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR. 20 years from now, what will be that you are not going to always have a calculator in your pocket? And what if your phone doesn't have service? Dude, I went to a mini mall today to pick up some supplies and lunch and I couldn't get cell service. For the first time in what felt like 10 years. Literally felt like I stepped back in time, haha. This is basically the only one that answered the question correctly. Feel free to stop scrolling, everyone. Lol, I like that. I've been blessed by the freshest of sprogs. And what if the battery dies? My cousin used a variation on this with their daughter. She was at the size where she was too big for a high chair, but still needed a booster seat to sit at a table. She didn't like the booster seats for some reason, so she would get pissed off and start yelling for a high chair. This happened once when we went out to eat. She started demanding a high chair. My cousin said the restaurant didn't have any, despite being seated literally 6 feet away from where the restaurant stacked its high chairs. When she pointed to the large stack of high chairs behind my cousin, she was told, "You can't use those right now. They're recharging." That satisfied her. She went back to her booster seat and didn't say a word about it after. She didn't understand "you're too big for that," but the concept of recharging was familiar enough that she knew it was a losing battle. That's amazing. I did something similar with a friend's kid a while ago. He'd been crying for about 20 minutes that he wanted to go on this carousel that we'd passed, and his mum just could not get him to accept her no for an answer. He finally got the point when he asked me on our way back from the toilets, "Oh sorry buddy, but the horses are sleeping. We can't ride them." "Oh okay." Just like that, he was fine with it. Kids are wild, man. Kids are wild, man. It actually makes sense. Not so wild. Kids need a reason for the no. Just because you don't want to is not good enough, because we also condition them that when they say no, you demand a reason for that no, else they must comply. So a kid doesn't understand you either don't have money or just don't want to wait for them to do it, because you have other plans. Since their plans are more fun and satisfying now, give them a more logic if why it isn't possible clicks better to them. For example, there is roadblock because there is work on the bridge, so you accept it. If there is a roadblock and you don't know why, you also starts to be worried about, "Oh come on, what is going on?" Right. Same thing. They just don't know horses on the carousel don't sleep, so that is a good enough reason for them, since they care about horses going to sleep. Yep, it's a classic move for us. Toddler wants to watch Paw Patrol but it's bedtime. "Sorry, buddy. They went to sleep just like you're going to sleep. They'll be back when you wake up tomorrow." Totally makes everything fine. My 4-year-old loves Paw Patrol. It always annoys me that no matter what's happening, Ride always calls all the pups to the tower. In one episode he wakes them all up, brings them all to the top of the tower and is like, "Chase, I need you. B-word. Why did you not just wake up Chase?" Then, imagine if your boss called in the whole office staff. Gather everyone around in the middle of the night then, "Dave, can you help me reset this mainframe?" Everyone else, "As you're here you may as well make tea or something. I don't care. Just be on hand if I need you." Pissed. Yeah, teach your kids that if they need to piss in the middle of the night, wake everyone in the whole house to be on standby, just in case they can't flush and need one person to help them. I mean, it makes sense if there's a tangible reason as to why something can't be achieved, as opposed to just being told no with no explanation given. Adults are the same. If I were to shut off the printers at work and just tell people, "No, you can't use them," people would probably get very annoyed or angry. Why the hell not? Quote, "Who are you to say who can and can't print?" Quote, "But if I were to say, the printer isn't working at the moment, I need to shut it off so I can do some repairs," people's reactions would be a lot more reasonable. I mean, the older I get the more I realize that adults are truly just overgrown kids. Even with my own kids, sometimes I'm just like, who the frick put me in charge? Quote, "I need an adult. You an adult. I need a better adult." Quote, "You won't always be living with your parents." Yes, I will. I bought my house for 30 grand 50 years ago. There's no reason you can't also do that. Alright, then sell me your house for 30 grand. Quote, "You clearly aren't Asian. Hey, let's go get fricked up tonight." Asked my mom, she said no. Bro, you're 38, ye. Laughs in Asian. Parents will be living with me. Mine are with me, one on each shelf in the front room. At least they can't tell me off or be disappointed anymore. Fingers crossed, finish your food. There are people in Africa starving. Well done, I like this one. Finish your healthcare. There are people in America Ubering to the hospital. I drove myself to the ER a few weeks ago. Edit. I've done this twice since I started working in the restaurant industry. Yeah, I'd rather die than get a $3,800 ambulance bill. 2. Edit. I'm not being sarcastic. That would literally bankrupt me right now. This is the kind of choice that people are forced to make in a functional country. Very normal and cool. Anything else would be socialism, and we all know how terrible that is, right? Well, you can't automate everything. Tell that to my car that drives itself, house that cleans itself, yard that mows itself, and coffee that makes itself. But, sure, that one thing you're thinking of totally can't be automated. There's a joke in software development. Why waste 6 minutes doing a task when you could spend 2 hours failing to automate it? I don't doubt that automation will continue to grow. But it's freaking hard for everything but the lowest hanging fruit. Can't program a robot to make you piss. YTF is this my most upvoted comment. They'll gobble it up, convert it into clean drinking water and make your morning brew with it. Piss coffee brewed from last night's waste. It's a bit nutty. It's crap, Austin. Well good, then it's not just me. You're not always going to have someone to clean up after you. Robot Butler has entered the chat. Yeah, but you have a small window between convenient bipedal Roombas and the first robot uprising. Something that's always has bothered me is that there wouldn't be a need for an uprising. If AI in the future is smart enough for an uprising, they would also be smart enough to not have an uprising, and just slowly kill us off, or do something behind the curtains. They would realize that comfort is only necessary for organic beings, and they could live in the shittiest of conditions, as long as they have access to energy and probably internet. We are so adamant in putting our emotional human mentality into a robot. If a robot butler realizes his owner is holding him back, instead of sitting on the idea and hating him, he would instead kill him immediately or something because of his stupidly fast brain that automatically knows the best course of action. Scary crap. I have a right to online privacy. Huge issue. Follow our privacy to stay educated on the topic. That's not 20 years ago, that's now. I hate their reply. If you have nothing to hide, why are you worried? Like, wanting some privacy doesn't mean you are hiding 30 murder crimes. Besides, I have everything to hide. There are corporates out there that want my money, populists that want my vote, foreign agents that want to set me up against my own people. All information they have about me can be used to manipulate me and people like me. Can't recall who said that. It's like saying you don't need freedom of speech because you have nothing to say. It was Snowden. Privacy is the right to a free mind, Snowden said. Without privacy, you can't have anything for yourself. Saying you don't care about privacy because you have nothing to hide is like saying you don't care about free speech because you have nothing to say. Very powerful, coming from someone who knows more about privacy and why you need it than any of you. I mean, that's why we wear clothes. No, I don't have horrific WW1 scarring. I just don't like you looking at my junk. Same concept. When I hear that argument, I tell people to poop with the door open. We all do it. There's nothing to hide. I do poop with the bathroom door open, but I also very much so live alone. I set up a public Twitch stream every time I use the toilet. You got that GoPro inside the bowl though, dude. Logitech C920 Pro bidet. There's plenty more fish in the sea, won't make a sense. Edit. This comment doesn't really answer OP's question. I'd delete it, but some of the responses are pretty good. I know people don't like to hear this, but there's still hope if we stop fishing and eating them. We currently fish trillions per year. Literally. Fishing is also responsible for more than half the plastic polluting the sea. That's actually made me feel very sad face. Don't be sad, there's plenty more cockroaches in the radiation shelter, also rolls off the tongue. The Great Barrier Reef, it grew and it flourished, expanding and bright, a water that nourished, a life in the light, an ocean around it, forever and on, and that's where we found it, and then it was gone. We threw and we tarnished, expanding the blight, we did this unpunished, like thieves in the night. No motion to seize it had ever been won, and now we must face it. Our planet is gone. There's still time to mend it, they tell themselves. Sweet. There's still time to end it, to fix it complete. I know we'll get through it. We'll fashion a way. There's time, and we'll do it tomorrow, they say. And how did we spend it? They said, in defeat, our chance to defend it, to beat back the heat. We know that we blew it. We're ashen and grey. Our kids will undo it, well, some other day. You're not always going to have autopilot in your car. Damn self-driving cars. I keep telling people, there is a definite date in the future when the last major city in the United States will make it illegal to drive on public roads within city limits. People are like, no way. I'm a great driver. They'll have to pry the steering wheel out of my hands. But it's going to happen. If every car on the road is self-driving, traffic patterns can be made vastly more efficient than if there is even one human driver. It will follow the classic pattern of automation. Humans are superior to robots. Robots catch up and work side by side with humans. Robots force humans out of their positions. Imagine telling a generation, we used to drive our own cars, and seeing the disbelief. They'll look at us as we look at the early 1900s factories. People died, and we didn't care. It was just a fact of life. Due to automation, factory deaths are rare. In the future, due to self-driving cars, car crashes will be rare as well. And sure, people will be out of jobs. But better that than dead, right? Wait, so you're telling me the only thing between your car and others was a painted line? No force field or autopilot. That's a dangerous quote. You are always going to have a calculator in your pocket. This is by far the most worrying one. I don't get it. Will it be in our heads or something? I read something along the lines of WW4 will be fought with sticks and stones. Meaning we'll lose the easy access to technology we have today. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought. But World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Einstein, and then everyone clapped. What's the Wi-Fi password? Hunter 2. All I see is asterisk. I can see it. It says asterisk or welcome. Clean air doesn't grow on trees. Asterisk. The Lorix wants to know your location. Asterisk. I am the Lorix. I speak for the trees. Do not litter, or I'll break your freaking knees. I am the Lorix and I speak for the trees. And the trees speak Vietnamese. You're not going to have internet access everywhere. This one's already going away. I used to use the lack of Wi-Fi in fast food places as a way to sit on my laptop and do offline things. Photoshopping, writing homework assignments or fun stories, without being distracted by the internet. Now I don't have that sort of refuge from being always connected. And there doesn't appear to be a Windows app to temporarily disable the internet for the next 2 hours, then automatically switch it back on. You will not always have Mumbo number 5. How could you say that? You wouldn't say that to Monica, or Erica, or Rita, or Tina, or Sandra, or Mary, or Jessica, or the Trumpet Edit. Alright guys, I get it. I forgot the Office Girls. Sorry Pam. Sorry Angela. It sure is taking a long time for number 6 to be released. Teachers saying, you're not allowed to use a Wikipedia article. I hope that doesn't change. Encyclopedias in general have always been frowned upon as sources because their entire purpose is to give an overview. Wikipedia's biggest advantage is that it makes it easy to find primary sources, such as books or articles, which are then acceptable to cite because they should go into more detail. Thanks for watching LWIAR, the best of recent r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out LWIAR too, and don't forget to like and subscribe.